You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and it is mailbag time here on the channel. We like to just pause, sit back, and answer questions from subscribers around the New York Knicks and what they might do this offseason. As we know, it's going to be a big one for the Knicks. 2 seed, 50 wins, but they fell a game short of the conference finals. They have 8 tradable first-round picks. They're going to make some moves, and I'm excited to see what they do. First question coming in for my guy Neighbors is him. What's up, bro? Says, how can anyone say no to Kevin Durant? Dude's been healthy and proven to be a bucket. Would make our team hella big, too. I agree, man. I truly do believe that if you have a basketball team that features Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Isaiah Hartenstein, we've learned that team can get to Game 7 of the second round. It already happened. Imagine if you had Kevin Durant. Look, is he older? Yes. Has he had some injury issues? Yes. But he just played 74 games, and he just dominated once again in the playoffs. Kevin Durant is one of the best scorers to ever touch a basketball, and I think that the Knicks would be a perfect situation for him. I look at it as almost very similar to the Golden State Warriors situation that he joined. Yeah, the Knicks do not have a championship, but they have their star, they have a culture, they have an identity, and they have probably a Hall of Fame coach at this point. All KD's got to do is step in and hoop. Doesn't got to be a leader. Doesn't have to be a captain. Doesn't have to do anything except put the ball in the basket at the high clip that he does. Justin, what's up, bro? Who are your top 3 targets, Marshall, for the Knicks offseason? Mine is D-Book, Mikal, and KD. That's good. Those are good. I'm in on all those. Yeah. Can we squeeze Giannis in there somehow? Can Giannis be squeezed in there? Brian Windhorst says every team is watching Giannis right now. I don't think I'm ready to close the book yet on Giannis. But, yeah. Those 3 and Giannis would be in my top 4 if we're calling those realistic to an extremely large stretch. Will, what's up, man? Says, if the Knicks can't trade for Mikal or KD, besides DeMar, is there any other player that you would trade to come off the bench? It's a really good question. The only thing that I would be curious about is, Will, if the Knicks are trading for a bench player, who are they giving up, right? Like, who are we trading for a bench player? I'm not trading Randall for a bench player. I'm not trading Hart for a bench player. I honestly don't want to trade any of my players on the team for a bench player. So that would mean it would have to be a pick package, right? Like, Bogey can go if he needs to because of the $20 million, and it would make it easy to make a move. So Bogey and picks is your offer, right? Guys to come off the bench. I would want a sneaky one. This isn't a trade. What about a guy like, you might hate me for this because I continue to mention old players, but you know what? When you're trying to win a championship, you sometimes need that. What about a cheap Chris Paul? What about a cheap Chris Paul in free agency to come run your offense when Jalen Brunson is out of the game? When it comes to trading for one, Will, what do the Knicks need off the bench? I think they need another wing that can defend, that can guard a Pascal Siakam if you get into foul trouble, and then another point guard. Because I don't think Deuce is a point guard. I think Deuce is a 2 guard. Yeah, if the Timberwolves can't pay everybody, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's a good question. Bench scoring is what I would look at, and bench defense. I don't know. I think the Knicks got to upgrade in the starting lineup. That's kind of where I'm more focused on. It's a good question, Will. I'll continue to think about it, and when I get a better answer for you, I'll come up with one. But what about NWA from Minnesota and maybe Chris Paul off the bench in free agency? I'd be cool with that. People are saying Malik Monk. Malik Monk is going to be way out of the Knicks' price range. Way out. That's another thing we got to consider. Blue says, if the Knicks get Mikal Bridges, do you think they push for Dorian Finney-Smith in the trade package? Would love to. I'd love a Dorian Finney-Smith. That would go for Will's question as well. And I saw that trade package on Twitter be thrown around. It was like Randall for Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith with the Knicks giving up picks as well. I love Dodo. I love Dorian Finney-Smith. You talk about modern day Luau Deng, Tom Thibodeau, get another one of those guys. Imagine a defensive lineup behind Brunson with Dodo and OG Anunoby and Hartenstein. Dorian Finney-Smith would be a great addition to that trade. I just really don't believe that are the Brooklyn Nets really going to trade Mikal Bridges to the Knicks? No matter how bad we all want it, doesn't really matter. My guy King Deej in the building. What's up, homie? We'll get to more questions coming up in a second. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor here on Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and that's Chubbies. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chat and use that promo code chat, and Chubbies will hook you up with 20% off your order. Summer is right around the corner, guys, and our friends at Chubbies are bringing the good vibrations. Chubbies is a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. They say fashion is the expression of one's character, so why not let the world know you're down for a good time? For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code CHAT. Use code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Chubbies offers a variety of high-quality men's apparel, from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks in 3 short inseam lengths to pants, polos, and button-down shirts for whenever you need to hit up your favorite weekend spot. Embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubbies, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. Finesseful J, what's up, bro? He says, what potential trades that aren't being spoken about should we trade for the Knicks? I like that Dodo trade, man, and I know even if you can't get Bridges, maybe just exploring that idea. Another trade that I would like to see the Knicks make that people aren't discussing, DeMar DeRozan. Like, I don't feel like that one's being discussed all that much. Could you swing DeRozan and Caruso? That'd be pretty nice. I know there's been a lot of talk about Jalen Green being mentioned to the New York Knicks. I don't know if I want Jalen Green. I don't know if he is the most winning player. Does he fit the brand and identity of the New York Knicks? I would say no. There's been some talk about Kuzma, and I see my guy King Deej in the chat talking about Kuzma. He says Boyan for Kuzma or DeMar as a six-man. We've been talking DeMar as a six-man for a long time, and I think that'd make a lot of sense. If you can get Kuzma without giving up one of your core 3 and really your core 5, when you talk about Randall, Brunson, OG, Devo, and Hart, then yeah, I'd be cool with Kuzma. Kuzma off the bench would be dope. Someone in the chat saying Jonathan Isaac. Are the Magic moving off of him? Got a sneaky one for you. This isn't like a needle mover. What about like a Wendell Carter off the bench? If you have to move off Robinson somewhere else, you get a big that can stretch the floor and hit threes while also provide you some defense and some rebounding. I've always liked Wendell Carter. I've compared him somewhat of like an off-brand Al Horford before. I think the Knicks, if they re-sign Hartenstein, they're going to have to make a decision on Mitch. I don't know if you could depend on him consistently. I love Mitch, love the defense, love the rebounding, but facts are the facts. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. Wendell Carter's kind of had that injury issue as well. Another guy on the Magic. What about Markelle Fultz? Another guy that could control your offense and be kind of a generator off the bench, I think could make some sense. See someone talking about Lauri Markkanen. He ain't trading Jimmy Butler to the Knicks. Those who I got right now. It's still early. Ty Clemens. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much faith do you have on Leon Rose bringing a chip to the Knicks? It's most confident I've ever been in as a Knicks fan. At 29 years old, the Knicks will win a championship. It's most confident I've ever been that the Knicks could win a championship is with Leon Rose as their general manager. I'll go 9, and I can't say 10 because that just means it's going to happen. And I think Knicks still have some steps to climb to make sure that it's absolutely going to happen. CPJ says, this question is for Seeps. I just want to know why you don't like Booker.
Yeah, so we got in that debate a little bit during our live show, and it's not that I don't like Booker as a player. I just don't know if he is the piece that kind of takes the Knicks to the championship. Because you think about it, and I know Booker's got decent size for a guard, but then at that 3 spot, are you running OG, or are you going to go Josh Hart or DiVincenzo at that 3 and then OG at the 4? I just feel like it would give the Knicks a smaller field than they would have had in the playoffs. Marsh, I know you're obviously bigger on Booker than I am.
Yeah, man, I think a starting lineup of Brunson, Booker, Hart, and OG with Hartenstein, I think that can win the championship. And I think you're bringing Devo off the bench. I think Booker would be an awesome addition. 6'5", 28 point per game scores, that average 50% from the field and shoot 40% from 3, can score from all 3 levels, back to the basket, defend at an average level, would be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Your 2 and 3 are Booker and OG with Hart at that 4 or whoever at that 4. Yeah, you may be a little bit smaller, but at the end of the day, you got 2 guards that keep coaches up at night trying to slow them down.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No. Is there a perfect fit? And Booker's young. But it ain't happening. They're not trading him right now. Unless he just demands to be traded. Blue, what's happening, family? Says, how about Luke Kennard as a bench piece? I'll take Luke. He could shoot it. That's a late July move, though, for me. That's not one I'm itching to get done before the draft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Knicks could use another sniper like Kennard. I'd be cool with that. Julian, do we know if the draft pool will be decent enough this year to pick up a nice 2-way prospect, almost another McBride-type project? Well, the Knicks own the 24th pick, 24th and 25th pick in the first round, as well as the 38th pick overall. So they have 3 picks and tied the top 38. I haven't been fully immersed in my draft coverage yet. Playoffs just ended, so forgive me on that. I'm just going to lean on the experts on this one. The experts say this is a terrible draft. Which I think what they mean by that is it's not top heavy. You can always find a role player, though. The Knicks need to come out of the draft with at least one guy that will be in the rotation either this year or next year. Make sure to hit me up on social media. I'm trying to grow my game over there. Hit me up on Twitter or IG. I'm at @MarshallGreen_ on both of those.